Hello there, class, and Happy New Year. It will be the New Year by the time you see this. Um, my name is Lisa Villa, and I am your instructor for the next 6-week intersession, winter intersession. So I wanted to jump in here. I always like to jump in a few days before classes actually start and make the class available to you so that you can go in there and kind of get your online course taking legs going. Look over the class, especially the syllabus, which is a contract between you and the instructor. And so that way, when we start the ground running, which will be Monday, January 8th, you won't feel too lost, hopefully, and you'll be able to dive right in. By the way, I am making the class a few days early, so for the first discussion post, and also there's two things that you need to do right away, and that is to jump into the first week discussion, and the other is to take the syllabus quiz. Once I make the class available, or once I make any assignment available in this class, that is your green light to go ahead and jump in as soon as you feel comfortable. Okay, you don't have to wait till the official first day of class. It will count towards, once you read through all the discussion board rules, you'll see what I'm talking about, but it will count towards the points, maximum points that you can earn every week, even if it's way before the actual deadline, or in this case, before the class is officially underway, or the intersession is officially underway. So let me go ahead and share my screen so that I can kind of walk through with you what the class looks like, and also how to actually get in the class. So from anywhere on our website, citruscollege.edu, there's a couple different ways into Canvas. Canvas is the name of our course management system that we use for all online classes. And actually, even instructors who are teaching face-to-face classes will still use Canvas, just kind of as a place to keep records, especially your grades, and you can kind of stay on top of things that way. I wouldn't say 100% of all instructors use Canvas, even if they're doing face-to-face classes, but it's pretty darn close to 100%. So everybody should be familiar with this. But in the top right corner, next to the magnifying glass, you'll see this drop-down menu, and you'll see Canvas right there. So that's a good way in there. Also, if you go through our student portal, like if you happen to be there already, my.citruscollege.edu, you can also find Canvas, a widget there. If you don't see it, you can just type it in search and it will definitely pop up. But either way, unless you're already signed in, logged in, it will prompt you for your username and passcode, which is the same no matter what you're logging into. It's a single sign-in credential. Whoops, I think I just recently updated my password and then promptly forgot. Hang on a sec. Okay, I was getting worried there because they're constantly asking me to update my password. Okay, so what you'll see right off the bat is what we call the dashboard. So these are all the courses that you're registered in. Here's our course right here, COUN160. I'll publish it as soon as I send this announcement out to you guys. So what you'll see right off the bat are groupings, we call them modules. It's just groupings of information. So you've got the course material module. Most instructors will have something like this. They may not always name it the same thing, but it's basically where you see kind of an overview of everything you need to know for the class. So in this case, I've got, of course, your syllabus. And of course, that's what the syllabus quiz is based on. So you can just refer back. By the way, the syllabus quiz you can take as many times as you want, as long as it gets done. I have the wrong date there. I'll change that in a second. By the end of the first week, which is January 14th. So whenever I refer to a week in this class, I am referring to a Monday through Sunday. So you'll see in Module 1, Week 1, January 8th through the 14th, I always include the dates just because that way there's no confusion about when anything is due. So January 8th is a Monday, the 14th is a Sunday. So the end of Sunday is technically 11:59 p.m. That's when everything is due all the time, week to week. So it's a really easy way to remember things. The only exception is during finals week. Your due date will be that finals week, that Tuesday, 11:59 p.m. But I'll get into that more later. So you've got the syllabus, you've got our textbook, which is basically, it's an OER, that stands for Online Education Resource. It's completely free and it's available at this link. If I click on this link, you'll see that it takes me right to the book, and you just have to click on read book. And whatever I'm asking you to read, go to contents, and you'll see the breakdown of chapters. So if I say, this is a very intensive class, it's only 6 weeks. So on some weeks I have you reading up to 3 chapters. Don't worry, I know that sounds intimidating, but it's actually not. They're very short chapters. So don't feel too intimidated by that. But the reason why I wanted to click in here and show you this is to say that there's no excuse for not having the textbook, not like the old days where, if you need to get the physical textbook, it may not be available at the Out bookshop, et cetera, et cetera. This is available to you instantly. So I hope folks can make sure they get on top of that reading right away. General discussion rubric. This is important because your discussion is a huge, huge part of your final grade in this class. So it's really important that you're following these basic good rules of thumb in order to maintain the maximum amount of points possible that you could earn week to week. Netiquette 101 is just like a breakdown of things you probably already know at this point, especially since everyone's been through a lot of remote learning. But just to keep in mind, because again, the discussion piece is such an important piece. This is just a little bit more about me and my bio. And then the rest of the class, you're going to see grouped. You can see I already have Module 1, Week 1 available. It's going to be grouped the same way. What I need you to do, with exception of the first week, which you have a syllabus quiz, you don't have a quiz any other week. It's all discussion based. And then your final is a final paper. But every module is going to look the same week to week. There's going to be a set of links that I need you to review. I will also tell you what chapters need to be reviewed. And I'll have some mini lectures available to help you be able to process the prompts a little bit easier. But it's always going to end with the discussion prompt. So you'll see that at the very bottom here, I spell everything out when everything is due. What I mean by an initial post, okay, that's always going to be due on Tuesday nights, 11:59 p.m. If you miss that deadline, the worst thing that's going to happen is you're going to get an automatic 2-point deduction, 2 points out of 25 possible. And the reason why I have that deadline there is because it's so discussion focused, this class. The sooner you can get your initial post in, so initial post is your responses to all the prompts I have here. That's what I refer to as an initial post. The sooner you can get that in, the sooner other folks can actually dialogue with you and actually respond to you. So if you don't get this in until the end of the week, in every semester I've got at least 1 or 2 students who just cannot seem to make that first deadline. And sometimes they do all of their posts on the very last day possible, which is Sunday. If you think about it, that kind of defeats the purpose of having a discussion component, because the only person that's going to read anything that you write is going to be me, which is not a bad thing. I do want to read what you have to say, but then you're not going to get any interaction from your post. So that's why we have that initial Tuesday night deadline. I will always make your discussion, or the whole module really, available to you at least 5 days before it's due. So remember I said initially a week, when I refer to a week, it's Monday through Sunday. And this first week, it would be January 8th to the 14th. That doesn't mean I'm putting this up on January 8th and then I expect you to have the initial post done the very next night. Okay, you're actually getting 5 nights. Sometimes I do it even earlier. I give you 6 nights ahead of time to really work on that initial post. And then the rest of the week, Wednesday through Sunday, ideally what you should be doing is the other component to the discussion, which is your responses to others. So every week I will tell you how many other classmates to respond to. It's usually 3 other classmates. And so you could be doing that for the rest of the week and simultaneously getting ready for the following week, if that makes sense. So if you get all this in, you address all of my prompts, get your initial post in, let's say by the 9th. So by the 10th, I'm going to make week 2 available. Does that make sense? So now you're done with week 1. All you have to do for the rest of the week is start prepping for week 2. Simultaneously, you're going to just be responding to at least 3 other classmates throughout the week. So that's the main thing I wanted to tell you, to impart with you. There's a lot of information I will jump on here quite a bit, especially in the first couple of weeks, just to remind you of. And in the announcements area is where I want you to actually ask your questions, especially if they have to do with the class. A general class question. Obviously, if it's too personal, you can just email me directly. But then if you have a question about the class, like let's say you have a question about this particular announcement, then I want you to actually ask that question in the announcements area. You will see an announcement here when I put up this video, and then there will be a way to reply to it, just like an email, and then everybody will be able to see if you have a question there. I want that just because that way everybody else can benefit from the answer. Because you know that old adage, if you have a question, it's very likely that other folks are wondering the same thing, right? So you want to want everybody to benefit and feel like a learning community. And furthermore, if it's a question you feel like you know the answer to, and I haven't seen the question yet, you should feel free to jump in there and say, I think the answer to that is such and such, okay? So that we're all kind of helping each other out and we have each other's backs. This 6-week intersession is going to go by so fast, trust me. So please do not delay or dilly-dally jumping in. It's not a hard class. It's all about you and how to be a better student. So I hope you glean a lot from the short amount of time that we have together. But it will go by so fast. So, and trust me, I was a student for many, many years, so I completely understand the whole procrastination phenomenon. I still do that in certain areas of my life. But there is just no time to procrastinate. We really hit the ground running on day 1. So that's also why I want to make this video available to you about a week ahead of time. I think that's it for now. Again, if you have questions, please ask them in the announcements area, and I'll try to get to that as quickly as I can. Or if you think you can help out a classmate who asked a question there, you should absolutely feel free to jump in as well. So I look forward to reading all about you and getting to know you more. And I hope your new year is off to a really wonderful start. Take care for now.